Hi, I'm Emperor Wang,
And I'm Empress Wang.
and we are coming at you from Studio 304. And today we're going to review the U.S. Mint's 2.5 ounce Wonder Woman silver medal. Exciting. In commemoration of this, we have an actual real life Wonder Woman here with us. Also, for this occasion, we have another treat for you. That's right, Wonder Woman costume. I thought you guys might want to see some Wonder Woman cosplay for this show. So, what do you think? Should we give the people what they want?
I think so.
All right, let's do it.
Giving the people exactly what they want.
This is exactly what they wanted.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. The cape makes me feel
Yeah.
powerful.
Very powerful.
I can see why it's a thing.
Yeah.
This is like a woman's size and it barely fits around like fat neck. Very cool, very powerful.
Yeah. Very flammable.
Also, I don't know if you guys can see the cod piece. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Why would
Lasso
it
of
be
truth.
a, wait, why would it be a cod piece? It's for Wonder Woman.
Women don't have cods.
No.
What is I don't I'm not like a marine biologist. I don't know. I like the lasso of truth. I was thinking about the lasso of truth and I was like, I wonder if Wonder Woman ever uses it during sexy time. And then I thought about it more and I'm like, there's probably nothing less sexy about knowing absolute truth from your partner. Like maybe she uses it and she's like, yeah, you like that? And he's like, my ex did it better.
Oh, jeez. Fun factoid about the creator of Wonder Woman. Not only was he the created a prototype of the polygraph, but he was also in a throuple with he and his wife were in a long-term throuple with their partner. And Wonder Woman actually has a very feminist history.
Thruple is in like
Oh
polyamory.
yeah, yeah. So they were in it was three and they raised their children together. He had children by both women and they lived together for years and then after he passed, the two women, his wife and their partner lived together for like 40 years. So
So he was clearly the least important person in that thruple.
that's a weird takeaway, but okay.
I mean,
He died first,
yeah.
and so I don't understand this line.
Well, yeah, I mean, he had two women bitching at him. That's like cardio
Oh,
problems.
uh,
And then they did fine. That's science. I don't make up the
no.
science.
Okay.
But you said he invented the polygraph.
It was a prototype of the polygraph, and he was very into like they were into bondage, which is what they were. He was a feminist, and they were both highly educated. His wife was a psychologist too, and so oftentimes a lot of the original Wonder Woman, which came around in 1941, she's breaking out of chains, and there's a lot of bondage in the Wonder Woman comics, and it's feminist inspired and then breaking the chains of men because in the older comics she lost all her power when the lasso of truth was used on her.
I don't know if it's that
And
deep. I knew all these comic book artists were perverts. No one who spends that much time like drawing muscle striations. He's like, oh, got to get the shading on the boob just right.
yeah,
Like that's pervert stuff.
yeah, that's
Also, it sounds like he had like a truth fetish,
yeah,
which
it was called the psychology of submission. And that was yeah, so he was into that. So anyway, he and his partner and their partner, yeah, so it came out in all sorts of interesting ways. Fun for the kiddies.
we really got on a tangent there.
Yeah, sorry.
So, all
Trying to
right.
bring knowledge to Studio 304 instead of your usual bullshit. Just kidding.
The interns would totally disagree with you on that. No, that's fascinating stuff. As far as the coin goes, okay, so it's comic art on a U.S. Mint product. That's kind of new. And I thought, what better person to bring aboard to talk about that? Because I know that you are a comic fan, not a Wonder Woman fan specifically, but correct me if I'm wrong, you did grow up reading comics,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. I was a big fan of the X-Men and of the early, 90s and that kind of era. Chris Claremont, his run on X-Men. I never really read any of the DC stuff, but yeah, yeah, and I've read some really good comic books. So,
Interesting. Do you have a favorite comic book character?
uh, no, not really. I did like a lot of the, again, like the X-Men, and there were some more, slightly more off the wall ones, like this one called Spider Jerusalem. I think that was, who was that? I can't remember. He was weird, but yeah, just I'm not by any means
I've never
super
heard of that
knowledgeable.
last one, but I bet nerds throughout Stacker Kingdom
Grant
are.
Morrison? I can't remember, but anyway, I read a bunch of Spider Jerusalem stuff in college, and then there's a graphic novel series called Saga that's really really good, and that's the one that I read, but it's been a while, so
You contain multitudes.
I do contain multitudes. Yeah.
So we're going to move into the coin itself. I guess we've dilly dallied enough. All right. So we're going to lasso this here coin and we're going to share our thoughts on it. Check it out. All right. Here she is. High relief. Pretty impressive artwork, in my opinion. Let me get some boring stuff out of the way. So I pre ordered this late last year, September or October, I think. So this is the 2.5 ounce, and I think I paid 270 or 275. Currently, still for sale on the U.S. Mint's website for around $400. I'll put that on the screen. Now, I don't think that makes this a good investment. It's a bad sign that it hasn't sold out. From U.S. Mint products direct from the website, if they don't sell out immediately, then they're probably never going to be popular. And I think this and all of the other DC comic or comic art offerings are just not that popular. And I don't think they're going to be highly desirable in the future. So if you want an investment, I wouldn't advise that. I got this because it's a vibe stack. I'm into vibe stacking. That's what I call basically collecting whatever I want. That's why I get Palladium Eagles. I don't necessarily think they're great investments. I just like them. Vibe stacking. And the Empress knows that I'm vibe driven. Actually, I think the other day you were asking me like are you going to go with me to the grocery store tomorrow morning, and I was like, I don't know. Wake up and do a vibe check.
Which is
And
great.
yeah,
Really great. I love that. I love that for us. I love that for me. I love vibing when it comes to running errands.
yes, you
Yeah.
you loved that
Awesome.
answer
Yeah,
because
yeah. It's easy to plan.
you dig my vibes,
Yeah, totally. Just vibing.
huge fan. Anyway, vibe stacking. So I'll get into more of what I think about this. I would like to ask, like, at first blush, what do you think of the art on the obverse?
Oh, me?
Yeah.
Oh, the other people you're in there. Yeah. I mean, I think it's really, really well done. I think it's beautiful. I think the movement in her hair looks good. I think, the detail in her costume, her shield, even I think it's a really, really I think it is. It's a good homage to the history of comic book art. I think it's beautiful.
What do you think about putting pop culture on U.S. Mint products? U.S. Mint, that institution since the 18th century.
Well, I actually don't mind it at all because if you look at comic book art, actually predates. I mean, comic book art has been around in one form or another since the 1800s in America, and the modern comic book is just it's just in a long line of, it's not even uniquely American. Every country has some form of comic book art, and I wouldn't say it's something. I think it's an acceptable medium. and it's an important part of American culture. And I think in something like this, it's perfectly fine for the U.S. Mint, in recognition of, the long history. Wonder Woman's been around since 1941. Batman's been around since 1937. Superman 1938. We're coming up on 90 years of these particular characters, and they're woven into American society. And in that situation, why not? You know.
Touches on an interesting point. At what point does pop art or a pop art concept just become art? Like, for example, at what point does a pop art novel such as James Bond simply become literature? You know,
I mean, I think that I don't know. I mean, genre fiction, like I would say, like a spy thriller, like James Bond. I think it'll be a while before it, becomes like actual literature. But I don't. It's not like a pulp novel. I think it has more long-standing appeal, and it'll be around for a while. And it's already been around. So I think that once a medium or once a product has staying power in that it won't be forgotten in 5, 10 years, it's not like a fad, which in today's society, everything is the new hotness for 5 minutes. But for something like this, it's been around, since the 40s, and books that have been around since the 40s, and we're still talking about it.
that's 80 years.
Yeah.
That sucks.
It sucks. Why?
Because when I think of the 40s, I think of it being like 40 years
Oh,
ago.
yeah. And like when you think of the 90s and we're like, oh, that wasn't too long ago. No, that was like 30 something years ago. Like, what the hell, man? It's crazy.
Here's the reverse. I don't like this as much. Like, what's going on here? She's chasing some doves or
Is
pigeons,
that what it is?
chasing them out of orbit.
I couldn't really tell what was going on. I mean, it's still well done,
Are these also super
but
doves?
I think it's doves because of the peace. What does that say? I'm looking at it upside down. Peace and equality.
Yes.
Okay. So I guess that's what's going on with the doves. Did she, but it kind of looks like she like interrupted their roost,
Kind of
right?
looks like she's shooing them.
Yeah, yeah. Like she was like flying, right?
She's definitely taking second banana to this dove.
Yeah, like why is that dove in the front? Why is that like the most important dove?
Okay, I'll tell you what I don't like about this coin.
Tell us what you don't like.
There's nothing on the edge. There's no reading. It's just a smooth surface. What's going on?
Smooth like a baby seal down there.
Like a baby seal down there. What's going on? So I wanted to love this coin. And I think that the art, like as in this depiction of Wonder Woman, is exquisite. I mean, first of all, she has powerful legs. We're a big fan of that in Studio 304. You have powerful legs.
Don't make it weird.
So, but something is lost between the art that was on paper and the engraving on the coin. Somewhere between human and machine, the soul got lost. And although this is high relief, what it reminds me of is the Lakota Nation silver dollars. You can check those out. They're very high relief. And at first blush, they're really well done art. But at second blush, they're sort of just a highly machined money grab, maybe. And that's sort of the vibe I get with this. I think the human who made this really put passion into depicting Wonder Woman. I think the U.S. Mint, the entity, lost that passion along the way. And really, this smooth edge was just insult added to injury. Now, I could be wrong. The more I gaze upon this, perhaps my opinion could change. I do like the fact that on every other stripe of the flag in the background there is subtle texturing, and I am a big fan of subtle texturing. But I don't know, this kind of took me on a roller coaster of emotions. What do you think? Is it that deep or nah?
I mean, again, for me, the casual observer, I just thought it was I thought it was pretty. I thought it was well done. Now, I could see that maybe that some of the intricacies that you do see in a comic book perhaps translated to a different sort of medium. Maybe some of the nuance is lost. So I could see what you meant by that, but I don't know. I thought it was pretty cool.
I agree that it's cool. I hope it grows on me. Well, that's about it for this episode. Coming up from Studio 304 should have a couple of cool things. I'm not gonna tease them just because I can't really commit to anything anymore these
Just
days.
vibing. Just vibing.
Just vibing, bro. We'll,
Yeah.
we'll we'll vibe check next week and see how it goes. Anyway, Empress, as always, it was a pleasure having you here on the video, and I hope to have you on some more if you're down.
Yeah, sure.
All right. Well, from both of us here in Studio 304, take care and cheerio.
Cheerio.